Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory 1.1 walkthrough with me, your favorite dude. Or maybe I'm not your favorite dude, I don't know. But this is if you saw the last video, I had a realization that it was time to move on from the tiny factories and it's time to start building some mega factories. I have it on the thing over there that says super mega factories. Because I realized that all these tiny factories and just trying to get everything run through train lines, that's just not going to work, no matter how much I try. And that's just part of learning this game. I mean, when you get into phase 4, everything turns massive, right? I mean, I was trying to do an electric factory, and it was like, yeah, it's like this isn't going to work. I mean, the more I kept looking into it, it was like, I need to rethink this whole thing. But instead of just kind of like taking a break from the game, I thought we would work on the next thing, which is rocket fuel. And I'm going to build a rocket fuel plant in the blue crater here because there's tons of room. The other thing, as you can see where it says in this episode, is train planning. So a few episodes ago, and I did a lot off camera, I was building a train line coming through this area, and for some reason I tried to be creative and scale it through all these mountains and everything, and I didn't want to cut through this for some reason. And but now that I'm over here again, and there's a train line that goes along the border out there, it's kind of funny. It's pointless, but whatever. But the more you look at this, um, and actually look at the layout of the land, that makes a lot more sense having the train come this way and then come this way, because then we don't have to do this giant up and down crap that I have going over here. And I'm even embarrassed to even show you guys what I did over there. But I was kind of looking, like, if you look right here, there's kind of a, a thorough few, you know what I'm trying to say. A thorough way that kind of comes naturally from there, kind of goes through here, and then kind of goes down there. And then if you follow this blue area to about there, then you can kind of see a straight shot into that mountain range, right? There might have to be a little bit of maybe like through there, just kind of come straight through this. And then we can come to here, and then it can branch off, go that way. And then it can follow this blue area, and then maybe we build the train station over here, or it wraps around and we build the train station up here. I mean, there's a lot of elevation in here. You can't see because I'm all the way in the air, but there's a lot of big elevation change. So I mean, the station can be at this level with the train, or the train can be higher. But yeah, I just don't like what I did with these trains. It was disgusting. Let's just say that much. I don't like how it goes. It looks cool, but it's a waste of time. Trains are meant to be quick, easy ways to get from point A to point B, and going through all that gibberish was just kind of stupid. At least in my opinion. I don't know, maybe you guys like it or not. But like I said, let's see if I can pull up the modeler here. There it is. So this is our rocket fuel factory that we're going to be using, which involves using alternative recipes, the diluted fuel recipe and the nitro rocket fuel. So the reason we're doing this one is then we don't have to do turbo fuel, because the regular recipe you have to turn heavy oil residue into fuel, into turbo fuel, and then into rocket fuel. But using the blender in this alternative recipe, you skip that whole process. Which, once again, as you can see, there is 1, 2, 3 machines. That's it. If I put these... Let's see if I can do that. So these are the resources that we need to bring in. Which, once again, in the blue crater, not a big issue. We do have to sink some polymer resin. We will have 32 generators. That's the only thing. And all of these are overclocked to 250%. But this is making 18,000 power. That's just one of these. So 3 simple machines. I mean, yeah, there seems like a lot going on here, but there really isn't. I mean, when you really look at it, that's not much. It only needs 75 oil. 75 oil to produce 18,000 power. So, I mean, I could make 2, 3, 4, 5 of these and have a crap load of power. So my thought process for today is probably going to be another episode where I'm kind of like going back and forth between, figuring stuff out, and also I think there is a geyser right in the middle of the lake there, so I'd like to put I don't think I've even laid one of these down yet, the thermal generator, and plus I haven't even put one of these down yet. I'd really love to do that because there's a whole animation with that, and I'd rather do that on video than off of camera, so we might have to do that on one of these videos. But I know there's quite a few. Actually, there's a geyser there. I think there's another one. There's 1 or 2 over there. I think we can actually search for geysers, and you can see that this area is just riddled with geysers. Yeah, so there's what? 3 there, 3 there. There's more there. Now, I know geysers are not like permanent solutions to power. And I've been watching videos about how people use battery backups with them or something. So that way it makes the power more consistent or something. So we might have to look into that. But, like I said, I don't know if I want to start on the trains. I mean, the power plant's going to be pretty simple once we get going. Is there any flat land around here? And of course, the blue crater is so resource heavy. It's one of the few spots on the map where, like, every resource is available. But yeah, if we get the... Oops, I minimized my screen here. So I need a refinery. So if I just set that down. And we're going to be doing heavy oil residue, I believe. But I do have it overclocked or something, didn't I? So it's heavy oil residue, and I have it clocked to 250%. So it takes in 75 oil, gives us 100 heavy oil residue. Oops. And then that will be going into a blender. Gotta love the blender. And this is going to make the alternative recipe of diluted fuel. Now, if you remember my turbo power plant, we were using the packaged fuel recipe because we didn't have the blender. This basically gets rid of all the need for packaging water, unpackaging water. It does it all right here. Now, I think I have this one overclocked. No, this one's only 200%. So if we bump this one up to 200%, it'll take in 100 heavy oil residue. We just need 200 water, which is 1 water extractor, and we get 200 fuel. Pretty cool, huh? And then the next recipe is the nitro rocket fuel, which is also in the blender. So there's this. See the regular one, you have to give it turbo fuel and nitric acid to make rocket fuel. With this one, you just need to give it fuel, which, as you can see, 200 fuel. And that's how much fuel we were getting out of the last recipe. We have to give it a little nitrogen, a little bit of sulfur, a little bit of coal. We do get a byproduct of compacted coal, which I think I could either power like generators with it, or I can just sink it. I'll have to look for alternative recipes for this to see if there's anything else I can use this with. Sometimes you can... Of course, I don't want to do it this time. But yeah, that'll make us 300 rocket fuel. Now, unfortunately, it's like the only thing I don't like about these fuel-powered generators is that, you can't pick, like I can sit here and do that, so it's 625 power, but I can't actually pick, like, rocket fuel And it doesn't, like, tell me actual numbers and stuff until it actually gets running. Okay, bean. I got a bean walking over me. Why is there so many beans over here all of a sudden? That's crazy. But yeah, so like I said, these train lines are just absolutely ridiculous. I think I need to figure out like the first starting point, because once again, if we go to photo mode here, it's pretty much a see, I was over there, so it looked a lot nicer. But yeah, if we go back on top of this mushroom, whatever the heck this thing is, let's see if we zoom up here. So you can kind of see my train line that kind of follows this, just because I was bored and wanted to do that. But right here, we can make pretty much a straight, semi-straight. Now, I guess I need to go over that side, though, to see where this actually is. But I have a feeling it's just going to be... It looks like it's almost a straight shot. Once again, I wish I could do elevation. I mean, if I just click this... Oh. Can't do that. You know, if I click this, it just tells me how far things are away. It doesn't tell me how high they are, unfortunately. You know, I can... You can't even click that far, okay. You know, it's like, I almost wish I could get an elevation of how high that is compared to that. But, you know... you can only ask for so much, right? So yeah, I almost feel like my first thing, though, is I need to go over there. I mean, I think either way, this is gonna... I just don't know. And then, like I said, with the train line going this way... Oh, you gotta hit the button to move, idiot. So if we kind of... I mean, it looks like there's a lot more room than what I don't know. But this monstrosity is just ridiculous, how it's twisting and turning, and then it goes up a steep hill, and it has to go down a steep hill, and that's just dumb. I admit it, when I make a mistake, it's not that big of a deal. And this is originally where I was thinking of putting my aluminum factory. Now, granted, I don't know why the trees aren't... This is all still full of trees. I didn't chop all these down. But there's a whole bunch of bauxite, like right here. There's a big body of water right here. So I was looking at this area up here. So we have a water geyser. There's a nitrogen geyser. There's a whole bunch of water. So I was thinking of putting it here because there's like bauxite, bauxite, bauxite. There's a whole bunch of bauxite. But then once again, I just... I need to build mega factory. See, all the trees are still there. I don't know why it looked like they weren't. But yeah, I think I need to go ahead and start planning out some train lines here. And once again, this is... I don't think this is something that should be... I'll probably just do it off camera. I mean, I'll give you my general idea of what I'm thinking. Because we're just going to go right above this. I don't see any reason to go down there. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff down there that we'll probably end up bringing around us. But what I need to see is this side. And now I think I'm already way off of the area that I wanted to build on. So I was just thinking I probably should have put like a monolith or something over there. But I think this was the area. Oh, there's a slug. But I mean, I think we can bring this train instead of, because like I got rid of that train and now don't even look at that. Yeah, and I had the train going there, but that doesn't make sense. So I'm thinking it should come this way. And I mean, this is technically the straightest shot is probably through here. And I'll just have to kind of figure out how to get from there to just here, and then we'll just go straight across. Like I said, I should have put like a monolith or something over here because I don't know how, and I can't go that far. I can't even see the mushroom I was standing on, and now it's just going to get really foggy. Can I get rid of the fog if I go back a little more? Or is it because I'm too high? Probably because I'm too high. But see, now I can't even see that like mushroom tree that I was standing on. It's now gone. Now, I would like not to chop down most of these trees. I think this area looks cool, and I'd rather not chop it down, so that's why I'm thinking it needs to be, like, higher up in the air, maybe. And that might involve just, oh dear God. I might just have to start throwing down foundations and just figure it out. So I'm going to do that real quick and then I'll come back. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys a quick update here. So I'm trying to figure out train stuff. I've already spent like way too long even just doing this little bit here. My first attempt sucked. I ended up not exactly doing what I wanted to do, so I built a tower at the other end. That's what that is there. Now you can't see all the foliage, thank God. But I'm trying to make it a very straight shot, and unfortunately this was not a straight shot. As you can see, we didn't line up at all. Basically, I started on this end, and I just kind of guesstimated. But then I went down there, and as you can see, there's my tower. And like I said, you can't see all the foliage. There's tons of all these purple trees and stuff through here. Like, this is barely visible above the whatchamacallit. And it looks like we're like super high right now, but it's actually not that far off the ground right there. And also I was trying to make a line through the blue crater, so I just have a bunch of like concrete foundations right now that are just kind of like, oh, there's all the foliage. But you know, trying to go around the blue crater, and I have it coming somewhere over here, but you can't see it here. Oh, there's Sam up there. Look at that. So basically what I'm trying to do is figure out what angle I need to be at here to be able to hit that. So it's like trying to figure this out can sometimes be a nightmare. But one of the best things you can do is, so I'm on a foundation right now. If I just, you know, pick the foundation, I just want a 1mm. And actually, hold on. Let's get rid of this one. And then I'm just gonna, so I'm gonna put another foundation, but I'm gonna hit H. I'm gonna page it down, and then I'll place it. Then I will grab another foundation, make sure it's a 1mm. It's easier to see that way. And then what I'm gonna do is hit Control. I'm gonna hold Control, and I'm gonna aim for that corner of the foundation. And then you want to make sure you see how all the lines line up. Everything's lined up on that one quarter. And then what I'm going to do is just rotate my mouse wheel while holding that corner and try to angle it like that. Looks good, right? So we'll just zoop it out. And then this is just the process. Is literally just, and then I'll probably just tear down the old one since I'm running next to it. But yeah, this is the fun process of trying to do this type of stuff. literally just... And this doesn't even look like it's going to line up either at this rate. But if we can get it close, that's all that matters. You know, this is what I wasn't doing when I was making my other lines. You know, I was just kind of like winging it. And, you know, then you look at what you did and you're like, oh. So, I mean, this is only costing me concrete and time, basically. But, you know, it'll look better in the long term, hopefully. No guarantees on that. But yeah, it looks like I'm not at the right angle again. But I want to see where it actually comes out. Because it might be a better... Maybe it's going to be a better angle. Like I said, but we have all this... All the big trees and foliage in here. So we're just going to cut right through all of it. And see, I don't want to... I'd rather not cut through one of these. So where am I? So it looks like I think I can aim for in between both of these. And then maybe have to do a slight bend. I mean, I'm thinking of my three-way intersection somewhere in this vicinity. This train line will probably go away. I mean, this one's definitely going away, this monstrosity thing here. This one's definitely going away. Yeah, don't look at that. That's definitely going away. I think I need to rethink this train line. Because once again, that was a half-ass attempt that I probably shouldn't have done. But I mean, I'd rather not destroy too much foliage. Now, granted, I could have this come out and turn and then come down this way. But it looks like if I just kind of zoop you this way. Thank God for this camera mode, I swear. Where am I standing? How come I can't... Oh, I'm over there. So if we go... So if that's that one... Let's go to the second... So, one... Go to the second one. I almost want to get that mod for the infinite soup. But, you know, it's part of the game, right? Yeah, I might just have to have a bend. Because I think the big mushroom trees and stuff are just going to be right in the way. Yeah, like, see, this mushroom tree is going to get in my way. So maybe what I'll do is just have it... I'll have it come up this way and then bend into this. Know what I mean? So if I just... This is the fun thing about building about stuff, is doing random stuff like this. And a lot of times I just do a lot of this off camera because it is very tedious. And I'll find myself playing for hours and it's like, oh my god, I didn't do anything other than lay a bunch of foundations, but you know? Now this is probably at a different angle than this one originally was. See? Yes, it was. So let's just go ahead and do that. I can't see with all the foliage. And I'm obviously going to have to chop down some of these. What did I zoom into? So, I mean, I was pretty close. I was pretty close. There's my pillar. Yeah, if it wasn't for these, I mean, my original thought was like maybe wrapping it, but I wanted it to be a straight shot. And I think this is just going to be the way it's going to be. And then once again, we'll have our intersection somewhere in this vicinity. These are not permanent. This is me just trying to trace it out right now. This is kind of how, after watching other people build train lines and stuff, it's like, okay, this type of shit here that I was doing, this is just like freehand, spitballing, no real plan and idea, just trying to make it work with the terrain I have. Well, now I'm actually trying to plan something out, so. And from what everybody else is doing, it's kind of like, you know, it's just trial and error. And so, but like I said, I think this would come out at the right... Oh, wrong keys. So if I just zoom you out a little further... I mean, we might be a little high. I mean, actually, no, that's probably about the same height. And then we're just going to have to, I mean, a few trees are going to have to get sacrificed, it looks like. But if I could get it to come in between these two mushroom trees, that'd be great. And then I think we'll just have to have a bend. Now, I could put the bend in the middle, but I think I'm going to put it at this part. Jump, 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 jump. I think we'll just have it right here. And then right here, all I'm doing is, this is about how high I need to be. And then I just have the 2-meter ramps coming down. And then I just need to figure out where to bring it from here. Because I don't think I want to go down much more. There's our original little starter factory. Like I said, this is getting deleted. Ah, don't look at that. So I think the roundabout thing is going to have to go, and then we're just going to make a intersection. Where is it? And it's just going to kind of have to be... So we'll make an intersection somewhere in this range, and one line will come this way, and then that line, I don't know why I even built that line. It was just more of because I wanted to, because it's like right on the edge of the planet, or the edge of the map, so it looked cool. But yeah, I'm thinking just bring this, and then we'll just have to figure out where we want to go through here. Do we want to go this way, or do... I mean, I don't want to really necessarily go right on top of these. I mean, I don't care about them. I might tap into them for our mega super duper 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 super duper mega factories. I mean, we just have... I thought there was 3 right here. I think that... No. I thought there was more. Um, I thought there was more around here. I mean, I know all these ones are right here. There's like freaking a ton of iron and copper, and but I know there's a copper. There's just two irons. There's a limestone. So maybe we'll make the intersection there, and then I'll just come in between all this, and then just make a straight line wherever that is. That's kind of my thought, and I think this is probably... This might be too high or not high enough. That's the problem. So I think what I'll do first, easiest thing to do is just zoom things out. Now something that really helps out though, actually I don't think it's gonna help now that I think about it. Because see, you can't, I think these are those two iron nodes right there. I'm going to have to go over there to see how much elevation change happens between, because this is where the roundabout is right now, which is, I'm just going to take it down. It was a nice idea, but yeah, it almost looks like, where am I at here? Okay, so if I go a little bit further this way, and then we just kind of moonwalk our way across this, because those are those two nodes right there, right? Now, I think on the other side of this tree, it's a more natural transition, but the problem is this is not a natural... Now, granted, this can still be here, and maybe we just do a little loop-de-loop. Our course option number 2 is I just cross the ravine here and go to that track and just bypass all that. That's probably going to be easier because this is the same elevation here to here, and then it does go down, I think, not much, but actually that's probably a better option now that I look at it. Hold that thought. Why does it look so much different when I'm actually on the ground? So do I go on this? So if I go... So if I, let's see if I can do this. So if I hit Alt and then click like right on this cliffside here, and then go to M, take my question mark, I'll put my question mark right on there. Why is that still there? And then I'm just gonna highlight it. And now I just need to find kind of the... Now, once again, the train is going to turn here. I mean, this might actually end up being more of a straight track. I'm just making... It's easier to do right angles and then figure out your actual angles later. It's easier just to draw straight lines at first. So, if we just take this and I hit H, I page it down one. No, I think I want it on this one. So we'll hit H, page down, select it, and then I want to go that way. So once again, we'll just select this, hit Control to put it on the edge. And if you want to make sure you're on the edge, you can just double check it with the lines on the foundation. So make sure you're using foundations with lines, because then you can actually see it. But then if I just kind of... that's too far. That might work. think that works. I think that's better than trying to figure out going to that mess. I think this works better. For now, it works better. And then I just need to figure out how high this train is. Oops. Oops. So if I can do this, and then I'm somewhere in this range. So what I like to do here is, so this is the level I want to be at. So once again, don't worry about this part. But now I don't know why I just did that. I had no reason to do that. But now I want it to be at least 2 meters, right? And so we have 1, 2, 3. So this is most likely where it's going to go. 2, 3, 4, 5. This turns, doesn't it? I might have to fix that. Hold. Well, yeah, I never finished fixing this. This needs to get fixed anyways. And this is going away. What am I worried about? That's going away. I'm deleting that. Idiot. I don't know why I was worried about that. But yeah, so what I need to do here. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a space, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a space, and then I'll leave like, I don't know. And then I'm going to grab the 2 meter ramp. I'm going to grab the 2 meter, and then we're going to put it on here so it's going upwards, and then we're going to zoop you up as far as I can get you. Oh my god, really? Idiot. But we're just going to zoop until the 2 of them kind of meet. That's what we're going for here. So they kind of meet on this one. And then once again, I need to fix that track so that it will make this a better looking track. And then once again, we might just come this way. We'll come across this, and then we might just make a nice gradual turn to that. Once again, just don't look at the straight lines like the final plan. Because that's where we want to go. I mean, it could end up being a straight shot from here to there, right? I don't have to make all these curves and gibberish and stuff. It could just be, you know, from this angle. So that doesn't look like it lines up perfectly, though. So what I'll do is just put it on the corner. Oh my god. And then I'll hit H. See, that's too much. That's probably good. I think these are the same height, right? Why does it look like that's higher? That's weird. And then up. Why does it always soup at the wrong angle? Oh my god, did you just do that? Kind of figure out the curve from here. We'll just make this a curve, I guess. Because once again, if we just go up, we can kind of come in and start to curve it so it curves to maybe about there. It's just kind of elongated. That way we go past this, we don't go into this. And we just kind of curve into that. Yeah, I think that's a good plan. I think. But you know what they say about best laid plans, right? Oh my god. My hands are getting all confused. Then, like I said, we'll just have to figure out the actual turning radius of this stuff. And then we're definitely high enough for any type of miners to go in there. Oh, there's a foundation in the tree there. But yeah, I think that works. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm doing this right now. So I just wanted to show you guys that real quick, and I'll be right back. Hey, everybody. I've been at this for hours. Oh, this is torture. But yeah, I finally got this train line pretty much done all the way from the grassy fields to the blue crater. I still need to do a little landscaping here. I've only cut down a few trees. I haven't wanted to cut anything else down until I was happy with the final result. You know, because I didn't want to like start cutting things down and go, oh, I need to move it over, you know, a couple of meters, and then I cut down a tree for no reason. I only cut down a tree that was right here, and then there was another tree like right here. Those are the only two I've cut down. But as you can see, it's a nice smooth transition, and it goes all the way there. It did get a little funky when we got down, when I first came off the end of the, I don't know what this area is called. What is this area called? I'll have to look it up. I forgot. Ooh. It's totally, I can't think of it. I know this area has a name. The magical forest. I don't know. But this area right here did get a little funky. I tried to put one of my blueprints in here, but it just, nothing wanted to work right. And it's still, for some reason, like when you're looking at this, it doesn't look right. And let's go up on some elevation here. There's no monsters up here, was there? I don't need things bugging me while I'm trying to. But if we go up here, oh, that's where the slug was at. But yeah, if we go, so this ended up being a little more difficult than it should have been. I almost thought about recording it, but this literally probably, you know, from, you know, this point to like that point between these two foundations, this right here took me like 2 hours. I mean, I kept deleting and replacing and deleting and replacing and deleting and replacing, trying to get all this stuff to line up right. I mean, at one point I deleted all the way back to there, and the line was actually tighter along here. But then when I got to this point, I had to make like a V turn, and the tracks just don't. Tracks need about 3 foundations width to start making a good turn. So, but I mean, it's not bad. It's just a little turn, and then it straightens out, and then a gentle turn again, and then it's a nice straight line. So, I mean, my other option was to come this way. But the only problem I had with this option was there's a lot more of these, there's a lot more foliage. And once again, I would still, like, I could have come straight and then come here, and then gone around this doohickey, and then made a beeline as the crow flies, like, that way too. I could have done that. But there was too many, I don't know. Like I said, you could easily come straight from there, come into this, come this way, and I don't know. It just didn't. I was starting to do it too, just to see if I would like it, and it just, yeah. And the other issue is there's a lot more trees at this level, so I would have had to cut down. Like, see, here's the same level as the tracks, is like right here. So as you can see, look at all this stuff I would have had to try to. So I probably would have had to blow up some of these, cut down more trees, and I was like, and I really wanted it at that level, which, once again, you can, I mean, if we just come right out to this. So if that's my level, you can see how many more trees and the little. So, like, this is where the level would be, right? You can see how there's just more gibberish in the way. I mean, I think it would be cool to maneuver through all that, but once I really started laying foundations, it's like, yeah, that wasn't going to work. I would have had to cut down a lot more trees, and it's amazing when it gets nighttime how many slugs you start seeing. It's like slug, 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 slug. But yeah, this was, I thought it was going to be a lot easier than it should have been. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I'm not surprised by this game anymore. I mean, I feel like I've spent the entire day building, a simple stretch of railroad that probably takes some of you pros no time at all. But, it feels good to get it done. I mean, there is some stretches without my blueprints in there, just because, once again, it just didn't make sense. Like, I could have put one, like, right here, but it feels like it was too close to that, and too close to that, and. Oh, and also, I did make sure that the manta ray does not. Oh, I gotta delete that. The manta ray flies right above this. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Where are you going? You can pet the manta ray in case you didn't know that. But see, I have a foundation right there I need to get rid of. Oh, I deleted the wrong one. Alright. I knew I was clipping somewhere. Yeah, basically what I did down here, though, is you can see we just came straight across. Now, I was trying to make it so the blueprints, like, started here and then ended at the other side, but, I don't care. I think it looks fine. Maybe it'll be one of those things where, a few episodes. What are you guys doing up here? A few episodes from now, maybe I'll be like, oh my god, I hate that. And then once again, all I did down here was I deleted the track, because originally this track was going that way. So I deleted all that, and I think I started on this one here. Yeah, because see, here's all my foundations where I started. But yeah, I think this is where I started. And I just created all new, because originally the track was like actually going. You can kind of see how the track was kind of going this way, and it met up with this one. And I think I actually deleted one in here somewhere. Well, I think there was 2 or 3 I ended up deleting, and then I put it more at an angle because I was having a hard time with this right angle. I mean, sometimes the stupidest things just make things difficult. So, you know, but I think it looks good. Um, let me look at a few more things and I will get back. So hold on. Okay, everybody. So messed around with trains for a bit. I think it's time to start looking into this whole rocket fuel shenanigans here. I'll work on these trains a little more. Um, but I'm happy I got all that done. I mean, that feels... Oh, hello. I was taking screenshots, so all my stuff's messed up here. But yeah, so I'm going to tear down a lot of this stuff off camera. You don't need to see me tearing all this down and restarting. But yeah, we're going to definitely... I might make it a video, I might not, I don't know. But yeah, we got to work on getting the rest of this train stuff done. But yeah, that feels good to get that actually done, though. Took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Always does. So let's talk about the Blue Crater. This shenanigans here. Now, once again, the elevation change in this area is huge. I mean, just look how far down I'm already at, right? So space is not the issue with the Blue Crater. Resources are not the issue. There are so many resources here. I mean, pretty much every resource. I mean, I think the only thing that's not here is like bauxite. But like everything else is here. And there's tons of room. Tons of poison. Tons of baddies. This is just an all-around just not a good area. So it's perfect for a power plant that you're not going to visit all the time, right? Oh my god, get up there. So, now the only issue I do have is it is not... For some reason, I thought this was like actually like a circle. Like a perfect circle. And it's not. Because of this little outcrop right here. But I mean, like this section here is more of an oval. Like if you follow this here. So what I'm thinking... Oh, I thought I was already that. Okay. Calm down. Once again, we have tons of room, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna get this slug just because it's bugging me now. There's a lot of slugs that are bugging me. I can see them all over the place, and it's like... Rawr. You know, these little blue dots and purple dots and... But yeah, we have nitrogen up there. There's limestone. There is some coal over here somewhere. I found it last time. Yeah, there's coal right there. There's some copper. There's like three... Oh, there's a watchtower. See, I've already been over here. There is more sulfur than you probably ever need over here. I think there's 3 or 4 sulfur. 2 of them are pure, maybe. There's a ton of oil. I already have an extractor on there for some reason. Oil. There's even more oil, though. Like, I think it's back in here somewhere. There's some pure nodes. There's coal up on the hills. We have, I think, just one geyser, which I actually want to use the geyser, because, like I said, I've never actually used the geyser in the game before. But I think what I need to do, though, is kind of measure this out and kind of figure out what I need to do. I mean, I have the general game plan of what I need to do. But I just really want to place a geyser. Because I want to see... I know they're not... They're probably not small. I didn't know you could rotate them. changes some of my ideas here. Hold on. Can I still... Am I still attached to it this far away? I mean, I guess we could always fucking replace it. I don't know what I'm worried about. So this will be the first geyser I've ever placed in the game. So let's just get back over here and watch it in its all of its glory. And build it. Wow. Now, is this a pure, or what is this? So how do I know what kind of geyser this was? Oh, hello. I didn't know there was an elevator, right? Or how do I know what kind of geyser this was? Oh, Jesus. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. It's got a nice drum beat to it. How do I know what kind of geyser this was? Oh, this was a pure one. Oh. And I think these are impure. Oh, those are pure. And I think one's impure. And there's even more geysers over there. Now, I do know the thing about geysers is they fluctuate in their power production, so it's anywhere between 2 and 4. And then people always say you should put down batteries, which I haven't even done a battery before. I don't even know where it's at. Oh, it's right there. But I'll have to look up the numbers again. But I know it's something like, you know, if it's an impure node, you should put like 4 batteries. If it's a pure node, and I need some colors for the blue crater. That kind of matches the area. I don't know if I like the green, but what was that? 17? Let's just make a side note over here. S17 blue crater. Is it crater or is it crator? So if I just do like okay, so what I'm thinking is I think I just want to map this out for now. Starting off as this is the center point, I guess. Is kind of where I'm going with this. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. 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 And I guess my... So I'm just gonna... Whoa. We're just gonna throw some foundations down here. That's gonna probably get really annoying really fast, isn't it? Okay, so what I want to do, let's go ahead and do a PR zoop. Oh, wow. Now this is on the world grid, so this is the world grid. So what I'm thinking is, this will be like the center point of our our facility, this thing. Because I think it's kind of ironic that we're using natural power and then we're going to have, like, power generators surrounding it. I don't know. I find but I would like to, like, leave it kind of open, I guess. Once again, this is planning. This is not finalizing, so don't... I just want to get a general idea. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Eh. But yeah, I think that'd be funny to have this as the center point of our big polluting super factory that we're just going to throw in the middle of this shenanigans. Now, obviously, I need to raise it. I mean, I could have the basic stuff on the bottom floor. Because we're going to need a refinery and 2 blenders. And then I figure I could probably just use... So if you ever want something like this to fit like here, pro tip, hit H. And then just pay, then you can just put it there. So I do have this one here. That I'm using on the other power plant because, like I said, the nice thing is we're going to be using rocket fuel, which is a gas, which means there's no issues with head lift or gravity or any of that. It just flows. And so I will need 32, which means if that's 4, so I'll need 8 of those. You know, I didn't want to stack them, but that's a lot of real estate. We're going to have to, like I said, I don't care if I even start them, like, somewhere at this height where I'm at now. I mean, it's not that big of a deal to me. It's just going to be a fucking power plant, right? But I can, I mean, get rid of the roof, remove the pipes, maybe put them in a different spot, I don't know. But like I said, the nice thing is we don't have to worry about head lift with doing this, so this stuff can literally be anywhere. Oh dear God. So if we... I don't want to be too close to that thing, it's obnoxious. So we're gonna need 2 blenders. Dun, 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 dun. And I don't know where to put them. I don't know where to put them right now. Because they're each gonna be doing different things. Doo-dah, doo-dah. I could probably put you up against the very edge here, though. So one of them is just gonna be taking in... Let's just throw them down. Let's just... And then I will also need a refinery, which should be able to fit in here no problem. So this is going to be diluted packaged fuel. Well, I don't know. This is no order just yet. I'm just trying to figure out spacing. And then we want to use rocket fuel. And this is going to be heavy oil residue. So all this needs is residue and water. And it's going to make fuel. This needs the fuel, nitrogen gas, sulfur, and coal. I don't think we can have them face the same. So, can we... Hold. I mean, that would be ideal, right? Just put them side by side like that. I mean, my problem would be my inputs. But if I gave myself a smidgen of room here... room did I actually... Like, a block? So if we just do, like, a block of room... How are they facing the same direction? Do it sideways. So this one just needs a pipe that'll fit like that. And then this so we have one, like 2. So it's like right there. So these are like touching now, right? Yeah, that ain't gonna work. And plus I need to input all this stuff, so yeah, that ain't gonna work. How are we gonna do this? So if I have one just give it a full, like that. What in the shit is that? What happened to my blender? And then we could have this one come in. So this would be diluted fuel. This would be rocket fuel. So that would be, you would go into here. That would be our fuel, right? It's going to take in heavy oil, the residue. This is the output, right? Yes. Idiot. Which means I need a refinery. God, these things are just so damn big. How far that way can I go? Let me just set it down so I can, okay, select that. So then we're gonna have a 6, and it should, oh dear God. And then we're gonna have gas. Now, whenever, like, all the people I've been watching with this stuff, like, I have to get rid of that resin. They say to use, this bad boy. The big industrial doohickey. So that way, when you, what the hell was that? So when you power it on, it, the only problem is it doesn't, I can't, like, it's either on one side or the other. I don't get a choice here, do I? Huh. Huh. Well, it definitely can't be there. It can't be there. Yeah, so the oil would come in here, which that's all it needs. I would have to move the polymer resin. This needs heavy oil residue and water, so I could have water come in, I guess, from that side. This one needs pretty much everything. Sulfur, coal. Oh, and plus I can't forget, I think I'm overclocking these that much? Or is it 200%? So that gives me 200 fuel. I thought one of these was overclocked all the way. This one. So I get 100 heavy oil residue. This takes 100, that gives me 200 fuel. This will take in 200 fuel and give me 300 rocket fuel. Rocket fuel! Now, I mean, I did give myself... How much space does this really need? I don't know if it'll let me... So if I do that... I wonder if I could... And I somehow reversed this one. My blender disappeared again. Because I think I had it this way. Okay, so that's about the same, and they're both on the very edge. So if I do that... Now the question is, can I put a pipe in? Really? So... we'd have to do one more. So if we did that... Why does it keep disappearing? That's so awkward. Awkward. So that to that. And then we can take pipeline to pipeline. So I think I could actually come over one more smidgen if I needed to. Which, what does that do to this area? Because once again, we'll need a pipeline. I mean, I think that works. That would be the output of the rocket fuel. And then I would just have to get rid of the compacted coal. But I really would like to have that buffer in here. But I don't know how that's going to work. Because there's not a lot of... Oh, hello. Because that's pretty much clipping at that point. I mean, I can't... It's either that way or that way. Granted, I could do it like that. Have it come... This is the pipe, right? I can't tell. Yeah, this is the pipe. So it could come out, go in there. Oh, jeez. I always seem to, like, hit my jetpack right as it does the autosave, and it, like, shoots me in the air. It's so freaking funny. So if I did like that... let me just set it down. And then this would not... I was going to say it probably won't. Do I get any other... just going to save it for now. You know, I think my brain's kind of fried after doing all that train stuff like the last 4 or 5 hours. I'm just going to leave this here, think about it, and we're just going to go ahead and call this episode. And yeah. Let me know in the comments what you guys think so far. Am I stupid? Does this work? Do I need to do it a different way? Let me know. Other than that, have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.